What's going on, people? It's Nicholson and I'm back in another video, man. You know what I'm saying? Guys, again, before we get into the video, I love and appreciate each and every one of you, you know what I'm saying? All my commenters, you know what I'm saying? Like, I see you, man. V9, JI, you know what I'm saying? I see you lot, you know what I'm saying? Honestly, so if you're new, make sure you subscribe because we've got some mad content coming soon, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. How did you find out what foods to get into a calorie deficit? And was it trial and error? Of course, I was like, you know what, this is a really good question, this is a really good video idea, so I'm gonna make a good response to this. All right, so how did I find out what foods to eat to get into a calorie deficit? All right, so before we get into the video, as you know, to lose fat you need to be in a calorie deficit, right? So if you don't know me, I lost 200 if you know something about me, right, I went from 265 pounds to now I'm weighing 190 pounds, all right? So I lost well over 60 pounds, all right? And how I did that was by doing these 4 points I'm going to tell you now, all right? So stay tuned and let's go. The first point was I had to find out what my maintenance calories were, okay? So obviously your body needs a certain amount of calories to maintain its current weight, all right? So this could be, for example, 2,500 calories, all right? So firstly, I had to find out what my maintenance calories were at the time. At the time when I was weighing 265 pounds, obviously I didn't know very much about, you know, how to lose fat properly or all this stuff, but my maintenance was something like 3,000 calories, right? But how I worked this out was by just adding up the food I was eating and how I was maintaining that 265 pounds weight, because it's not like I was getting bigger. I was just 265 pounds. Like I wasn't getting much bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? So I had to find out what my maintenance calories were first, and once I did that, then I could implement all these other things that I'm going to talk about in today's video. All right, so the first point I'm going to say to you is make sure you find out what your maintenance calories are. All right, the way you do this is you can go on body weight calculators online, just type in calorie calculator, and it will tell you, you just put in your age, your height, you know what I'm saying, your sex, like it just tells you, you put in all those details, right? Then it's going to tell you, oh, like, this is what your maintenance calories are, mate. This is what you need to eat to lose fat. This is what you need to eat to gain fat. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Anyways, that's the first point. And the reason why I keep looking is because I've got notes, because I don't want to start straying off topic like I do. So, yeah. It's much better when I'm doing it from notes as well. So, the second point was I had to start eating low-calorie dense foods, right? So, when I first heard this word, low-calorie dense, it didn't make any sense to me, right? Even though, you know, I was pretty decent in science, you know, I did applied science at A-level, low-calorie dense didn't make no sense to me. I was like, low-calorie dense? That sounds so complicated, fam. What is a low-calorie dense food? What could that possibly be? And all that literally is foods that are low in calories, but they're very filling, right? So, for example, I'll give you a good example of a low-calorie dense food. Chicken breast, right? Chicken breast is very, very low-calorie dense, right? Because it has low calories, but it has a lot of nutrients to back it up, right? It's got quite high protein. It's got, you know, decent other nutrients as well, right? So it's a really good example of it, right? An example of a high-calorie dense food, for something which is not nutritionally beneficial whatsoever, but it's very high in calories, is like a muffin, right? Like a blueberry muffin. Ooh, it tastes so good. It tastes. I can already imagine tasting it again now. Oh god. Oh, it tastes so good. But yeah, it's not good for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's not good for you. You know, you got to give it up. Give it up. You know what I'm saying? So that's the second point. You know what I'm saying? I had to start eating low-calorie dense foods, right? Now, how did I actually pick what foods to eat to get into the deficit? So I picked foods that were filling, but not necessarily, you know, the best tasting. All right. So guys, if I could, I would love to eat whole eggs every single day because I just love the way they taste, right? But for the most part, they do leave me feeling quite filled, you know what I'm saying, quite satisfied. But the issue is, whole eggs have way too many calories, all right, compared to egg whites, right? Egg whites are not as good as egg whites don't taste as good as whole eggs, but nutritionally, in terms of losing fat and building muscle, we're talking, they're much more beneficial, right? If you take them, like, let's say 100 grams of egg whites and 100 grams of whole egg, you're going to get less calories in the egg whites, more protein, yeah? as opposed to the whole egg, right? That's because most of the fat is in the yolk, right? Most of the fat and the carbs are in the yolk of the egg, right? So once you take that out, now it's left with most of the protein. Okay, so I had to pick foods that were not that were filling, but not necessarily like good to taste, right? So I had to pick out quite a few foods like that. So it'd be something like, at first, I've experimented with quite a lot of foods. So it was like brown rice. I've done quinoa for a bit. I did chicken wraps. You know what I'm saying? Oh, those are really good. You know what I'm saying? So it's just little things like this you can experiment with. All right. It doesn't have to be a picture perfect diet where everything you do, you eat, you love. No, it's like some of it you're not gonna love eating. I'm not gonna lie to you, right? But then there's always gonna be that one thing or them two things in your diet that you look forward to on a daily basis, and that's the perfect kind of diet you want to have, right? It's where you have like, okay, most of it is good for the fat loss, right? But I'm gonna have one thing where I'm gonna look forward to, I'm gonna actually enjoy it, where it's like a reward for me, right? Don't look at it as a cheat, because if you're cheating, it's like it's a wrong mindset to have, in my opinion, right? So you want to look at it as more of like a reward for yourself for actually eating these foods that might not necessarily taste the best, but they get the job done. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's the third point. You know what I'm saying? I had to pick foods that are filling but not necessarily good to taste. All right. And the fourth and final point I'm going to tell you in this video is it's mainly trial and error to find out what foods work for you specifically. All right. So when JA commented, I was like, oh, you know what, like, this is a really good question, you know what I'm saying? So let me bless the people, man, you know what I'm saying? So guys, the main thing with fat loss is trial and error. Okay, guys, I never bought a program from anyone, right? I never bought, you know, any supplements from anyone, any influencer, right? I nearly did though. You know, we all know about V-Shred, you know, in these ads back in the day, bro. I was like, yo, this guy's talking about foods that thermal foods, bro. The foods that burn fat. Like, yo, I can't lie. Like, I want this, man. I almost bought it, but I was broke, so luckily I didn't buy it, right? But now I can afford to actually buy training plans. I might buy other people's training plans just to see what they're like, right? But you don't need to buy no one's training plans if you don't want to, right? It should be a decision. I lost all this fat and made this transformation with no one's training plans, right? All I did was I took little bits of information from this person, that person, formed it into one collective, which is mine, right? That's all I did, right? Not everything I'm going to tell you guys it's 100% going to work for you because you're a bit different to me, right? But you can take little bits of information from me and maybe from somebody else and from another source as well, and you put it all together and make it a collective, and that's when you find out the best thing, right? So it was trial and error because I tried the keto diet, I tried the OMAD diet, I tried, you know, the 1 meal a day. So I tried quite a lot of diets, but intermittent fasting, which I actually like, to be honest, it's not too bad. You know, I tried quite a lot of things, but they just wouldn't stick for me. So eventually I just came to a compromise where it was like a little bit from here, a little bit from there, a little bit from there, and boom, there's my diet, right? Anyways, guys, let me know if you want me to like show you what my training plan and my like meal plan is, and I'll show you in one of the future videos. All right, so I really appreciate you guys for watching the video again. You know what I'm saying? I hope you guys are hitting your goals. You know what I'm saying? Stay hard, keep grinding. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, I hope you like the new camera quality as well. It's like, it's a very expensive camera. I'm joking, it's just my phone, to be honest.